This is a place where I feel
How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to do an oil change on a 2013 and up ZX6R. I always like to do my oil changes with the bike on a rear stand because it gives me extra clearance for the drain pan. Next, we're going to crack the drain plug loose. It's going to be on the bottom of the bike on the front left side of the oil pan. This bolt is going to be an 18. Then I'm going to slide my oil pan under. I'm going to go ahead and pull that drain plug off. I always like to grab a little bit of the oil before it gets contaminated from my drain pan and inspect it, make sure there's no metal flakes and that everything looks good. Here's some old oil versus the new oil. Next, I'm going to remove my old oil filter. There's a little funnel underneath the filter to catch oil, and usually I'll use a piece of plastic, although I lost it. So today I'm going to use some paper towels to try and stop the oil from getting all over the side of the engine. Just helps keep it a little cleaner. This high flow filter has a little nut welded on the end, so you can actually use a socket to remove it. Most filters don't have anything like this, so you can use an oil filter specific tool or a pair of channel locks to get it off. I also like to take a rag and clean off this mating surface to make sure I get a good seal with the new oil filter. You can get pieces of the previous gasket or dirt stuck on this mating surface, and that can cause an oil leak. I'm going to clean off my drain plug, and then I'm also going to use a new crush washer. With my new oil filter, I'm going to want to dip my finger in some oil and wipe it around this gasket. And what that does is it allows you to spin the filter on easily with less resistance, so you can get it hand tight, which is what it should be. And I'm going to screw on my new filter just by hand. I'm going to be using a full synthetic 10 weight 40 oil. The manual calls for 3.3 quarts of oil. Each of these bottles is a quart, so I'm going to pour in 3 and then use these measurements on the side of the bottle to get my measurement correct and verify that in the sight glass. I got my 3 bottles in. This will be the 4th. So I'm actually going to pour half in because I tend to ride really hard. I rack up a lot of highway miles and do a bunch of wheelies. So I'm going to pour in a little extra, assuming that I'll probably burn some along the way. These next 3,000 miles are going to be pretty hard. I always like to be sure and clean out my funnel before I use it. Down here in my sight glass, I'm a bit over, but once I run the bike for a minute, it'll come back down. Let me go ahead and tighten this up. And then I like to run a mental checklist to make sure everything's tight. So I got my drain plug is tight, my fill plug is tight, and my oil filter is tight. And now you're ready to rip. Changing your own oil is a great way to get more connected with your bike, more comfortable working on it. It shouldn't take more than 30 minutes and it's pretty easy to do. I like to do mine about every 3,000 miles because I tend to ride pretty hard and rack up a lot of highway miles. This bike has 2 trip meters, and I like to use one of them to keep track of how many miles it's been since my last oil change. And I'll go ahead and reset that. If you have any other questions, you can let me know down in the comments. And if that helped you out, I'd love it if you could leave a like and subscribe for some more motorcycle content as well as how-tos. Y'all have a great day.